Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, glory, and worship to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Wachakwadash, double unto the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone. Greetings and salutations to you, Akim, that are pushing the word in truth and sincerity. All right, this is Jaquab from Great Millstone, Atlanta Church. Quick lesson, prophecy update concerning Magog, Russia, the Eastern Edomites. It says, this is from RT News, can't erase history. That is in quotation. Putin and Stalin, which is his right-hand man, mosaic for military cathedral is appropriate. And when I say it's his right-hand man, because that spirit of the Soviet Union is about to be aroused. That spirit of Russian pride and Russian glory, nationalism, is about to be aroused, and is going to come at a cataclysmic cost, because Russia will be the nation to lead the heathens against America and ultimately destroy America via intercontinental ballistic missiles. But Russia will not hold the last dominion, because the scripture tells you, and we're going to get that in Daniel, that those who maintain the dominion before the kingdom of heaven was established by the Israelites would be, as you could say, the 10 toes, all right, which we're going to get into that slightly. So continue, and you got the iconoclasm, but President Vladimir Putin and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin will both make a surprise, if minor, appearance inside the main cathedral of the Russian armed forces, which is being decorated with historical scenes of the nation's glory. That's the point. The nation's glory. All right. So that's what these people, you see, that Magog, that real Russian, ancient spirit, all right, is being aroused. Okay. But these guys, especially when you're dealing with, over there in Europe, they don't go 100 years without having a war on their turf. Europe is a hot spot. That's that pit where there's always war, Let's see here. Let's go to some scriptures. But firstly, I wanted to get, let's see here. Let's go to Ezekiel. All right, let's get the scripture in Ezekiel. Shalaki. This is the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog." All right, and when you look at geography, not for time's sake, I'm not going to go into the geography in detail, but that is the landmass, or the nearest proximity, may I say, to where modern day Russia is today. Now, they did not descend from Magog. Those people have been forcibly migrated. Those today living there are Edomites. And of course, you have different nationalities, but that's the predominant and the one that has the power and the rulership. And it says, the chief prince of Meshech in Tubal and prophesy against him, which that quite possibly could be Vladimir Putin. I believe it is, and we shall see in the very near future. Verse 3, it says, "And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech, and Tubal, I will turn thee back." And how is he doing that? He's turning Russia back to that ancient spirit, to be aroused, that Soviet area type of mentality against America, all right, that iron fist, and they're going to exercise that in the modern battle playing field, which will ultimately lead to thermonuclear war, all right? It says, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, tanks and Humvees, and all them clothed with all sorts of armor, military fatigue, so on and so forth. It says, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and drones and so on and so forth. I'm modernizing it. It says, all of them handling swords, guns, 50 calibers, and so on and so forth. All right. It says on verse 5, Persia, which are the Iranians, Ethiopia, which are those that dwell in the land of quote unquote Ethiopia today, also those of the Sudan, not Sudan, Somalia region. Sudanese are the Egyptians, but more so the Somalia region in Ethiopia. Okay, they will be aroused. And likewise, let's go, as it reads, it says, in Libya. All right, because we see that, we also see, and we don't know exactly where that's going to go. Time will tell which side actually wins the civil war in Libya, but whoever does win, and ultimately they're going to side with Russia against America. All right, and let's see. As it reads, it says, with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and his bands, which is Turkey. It says, the house of Togarmah and the north quarters and his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. In Russia, that's exactly what Russia is going to do. You're going to be a guard unto these other nations against America. All right? But I want to actually get another scripture. Because, it looks like Russia possibly, which we know Russia will be the primary part of destroying America. But the Russians think in their mind possibly that they're going to rule next. Well, that's the furthest thing from the truth. Russia will fall just almost as quickly as America falls. All right, it won't be laid desolate with an arsenal of missiles, but it shall be put down with the heavenly chariots and from missiles as well that will come from America. All right, so this is Daniel, and this is just simply proving that this is the vision of Daniel, which were for times of the future, and which some of these times have passed, and we are living in the last of the times. So this is Daniel chapter 2, verse 33, and this is the vision. It says, his legs of iron, right? The legs is, this body is speaking of different phases and different kingdoms, right? Which have all, to exact detail, have come to pass, and it was written aforetime. For our learning. Verse 33 says, his legs of iron, which is speaking of the Roman Empire. His feet, part of iron and part of clay. And now what is that? That is the revival of the Roman Empire, which is in the NATO EU, which includes America. All right. And they are not unified as the ancient Roman Empire. That's why it's part clay, Verse 34, it says, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands. And it was a great millstone that was cut out as well. It was a great millstone, and we know Yahushua is the first great millstone. All right. He is that rock. That mountain. You see? Verse 34. It says, stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image, and we know going to that book of Revelation, the image of the beast, with the system upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces, which is the fall of the revival Roman Empire being Europe and America. Verse 35 says, then was the iron and clay, then brass, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together and became like the chaff of the summer. Ooh. Threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, which is the missiles, that east wind, that no place was found for them, and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, as is written, all right, which is the nation of Israel. It says, and filled the whole earth, all right, the elect, Bachaya, of the nation of Israel, all right. Verse 36, it says, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art the king of kings. And he's about to simply break it down again. For time's sake, I'm not going to read the whole. I broke it down. But this is the point I wanted to emphasize as well. Verse 44, it says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never, and that's how we know that kingdom is that mountain, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Why? Because it will be ruled by the nation of Israel, the holy people. It says, but it shall break in pieces and shall consume these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So Russia is not prophesied to rule. This the nation of Israel, that the kingdom of heaven, after the fall of Russia and America, which is fastly approaching. All right? So I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shalom.